Welcome everybody. I am so excited. I'm Vicky and I am here with Chrissy, my co-partner. Hey there, Chrissy. And
Hi.
we're going to give you the training on releasing unwanted weight. What does that mean? It is releasing the things that no longer serve you. I am Vicky, and let me introduce Chrissy. Chrissy, do you want to give a quick nod as to who you are and why we're doing this together?
I'm Chrissy. Hello, everybody. I have realized through my own struggles with releasing weight and even just all kinds of other things, but weight mostly. I've had all of these different cycles throughout my life of where I would gain it and then it would come back off, and it would be like that for a few years, then it would come back again. And so it took me a lot of personal development work and realizing like those patterns. And me and Vicky were having a conversation about it, and we just came up with this idea because what I've noticed, and Vicky I think also, but what I really noticed is there's like that mind body soul connection, and oftentimes it's because there's other things that we're holding on to, whether it's we have a need for protection because of emotional hurt or trauma in our childhood. Usually that extra weight is a protection mechanism, and it's just an energy. And so once you can dig down into your mind and figure out those blocks, you can start releasing those patterns, and then the weight will just kind of fall off. And so that's kind of where I've been at. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Chrissy is the transformational coach.
Yep.
And she's absolutely amazing. And I think you'd be absolutely lucky to work with her. She's so empathetic and just absolutely a gem to work with. And I'm also a transformational coach, and I've been on a transformational journey for the last couple of years. And I've really embraced a lot of different ways of being. And, today our goal is to share with you what we've learned. And we really want to just give you practical applications of how you can just start to show up differently in the world, because it's all about how you show up in the world, right? Weight, disempowerment, feeling like a victim, those are just all the ways in which we show up in the world. So we really just want to take you on this self-empowering journey. And through this journey, it is who you become. And out of who you become, it is who you are being, that the weight actually tends to release. This anything that is unwanted, anything that doesn't belong there is just going to naturally start to release from your life, from your energetic being. So why don't we kick this off with this quick introduction? So let's get started. Ooh. So why don't we start with, what is this all about? We're ending the cycle of guilt, shame, and frustration, especially when it comes to weight, because these are such natural tendencies and emotions that I know we all struggle with when it comes to the weight. And especially when we feel like we're carrying extra weight. How many of you have said, I'm carrying extra weight? I'm carrying unwanted weight. Oh, it's January. I'm going to only eat one slice of pizza instead of 5 slices of pizza, right? And we're hoping that it is through diet and exercise that we're going to change the way we look and the way that we most important. Why do we want to change the way we look? Chrissy, why do we want to change the way that we look? Why? I ask you, my friend.
Are you asking? Well, it depends on how you're asking that. So the reason I want to change the way I look now is because I want to feel healthier, and I want to feel more vibrant, and I want to have more energy, and I want to be healthy. But the reason I wanted to change the way I looked prior to my personal development journey was because I wanted people to look at me like I was pretty, and I wanted the outside validation. So I don't know. That's kind of a loaded question. I think it depends on, where you're at in that journey.
I love that. So
Yeah.
I think the core word in what Chrissy just said is it's because we want to change the way we feel. Because it honestly, at the end of the day, it's not about whether you're a pound bigger or a pound smaller. It's not about, the pants being tight or not tight. At the end of the day, the reason that we want to change things about anything in our lives is because of the way that we want to feel. But you know what? The irony in life is that you cannot have the thing that you want until you are it, right? It is this notion of, I will do, then I will have, and then I will be. So I will work really hard, then I will have a lot of money, and then I will be really happy and I will be financially free. I will feel free. But the thing is, it's not about that. It's about I am freedom. It is starting from a place of I am freedom already. Or it's starting from the place of I am attractive already. I am healthy and vibrant already. And then when you're in that energy, that's when you do. That's when you act like a healthy and vibrant person. That's when you act like an attractive person. That is when you have that energy and the aura. Have you ever met people who are quote unquote what the medical industry would call overweight, but they come into the room and they own it? I remember being skinny as a stick and yet being so lacking in confidence when I would walk into the room, because do you know what I would be focused on the one extra half pound that was on me, even though I was skinny and fit. And then there would be this like person who was more voluptuous, more full bodied, and she'd enter the room and my God, she would be glowing. She would be owning that room. And everyone would be gravitating to her. And it was that confidence, that self-love, that self-worthiness that was just magnetizing everybody to her. So it's not about how much you weigh. It is not about, do I wear a size 0 or a size 4? It's about what energy, what are you being? And Chrissy, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of like talk about that some more, and then we'll keep going in terms of our philosophy and our approach to what we weigh and to releasing the things that no longer serve us.
Oh my gosh, that was so powerful, Vicky. That was so amazing. Like the whole what you just said about like when you walk into the room and you just feel that way. Yeah. I've noticed that too. And I have to touch on that because like I said, I fluctuated with my weight so much in life. And I remember like being super skinny and I was the same way. Like it was just like I still like yeah, I felt good. Like I thought I looked okay, whatever. But it was like people did not gravitate. Like I did not have the confidence. So it really wasn't there. It was like an outside persona, but inside I did not feel it. And so like I just never really had that gravitational pull, like that didn't happen. But now, even though I am heavier, now I feel like I have that sense of self-love. It's taken a lot of work. And so I think though to get there. And so I think with this, and let me just tell you guys, I have lost, well, last time I looked, I lost 11 pounds in the matter of 2 weeks by doing the tips that we are going to share with you in this 7-day weight release challenge. Okay. So I've been doing these things and the weight has started just coming off. Don't remember where I was going. Oh yeah. But it is about empowering that self-love, that self-worth. No matter what size you are. Yes, I want to be smaller again because I felt better and I felt healthier and I had more energy, but it's about that feeling. So now I'm just embodying the feeling of feeling healthy anyway and just shining that and loving myself and just embodying that feeling. And those are other tools that we are going to help give you in this weight release challenge. It's not just about, we're not going to sit here and preach diet and exercise. Yes, it's important to nourish your body with healthy foods. We all know this. It's important to stay hydrated. It's important to move your body. But like you can go get a little trampoline. I plan on doing this and put it in your house and like jump on the trampoline to release like energy. Like you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to call it exercise if you don't like to call it that. It's just moving your body. But this is more than that. Yeah, that's important, but this is a mindset shift of really figuring out what is going on and helping you step into that power of self-love and worthiness. And when you do that, and some of the things we're going to help you do, you will see that you're just healthier and the weight's coming off and you just feel better. So I will turn it back over to you, Vicky, if you have anything else to say there.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for sharing that. And for anybody who is now becoming curious and is convinced that this is right for you, the URL for joining the Weight Release Challenge, which is launching on January 22nd, so make sure to join us, is right here on vickyd.me. 7-day weight release challenge. You can just go to that URL and you can start subscribing, and make sure to reserve a spot because this is a limited time offer that we are making. We tend to usually work one-on-one with our clients, with our coaching clients, but there is such a tremendous pent-up demand for this content that Christy and I decided to pull together the 7-day challenge. And we really want to bring it to everybody, right? Like, we want to share, we want to be in the service of everybody and to share through our experiences and through what is working. We know this works, right? And Christy just said she just shed, she released because she's releasing the things that no longer serve her. And through that, the weight becomes a natural byproduct. Do you know this saying, oh, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life? Well, it's the same thing, right? It's not, and when you love what you do, you never feel like you're working. And when you never feel like you're working, like, all this money and abundance just becomes this natural byproduct into your life, right? It's not that you're pursuing money, it's that you're pursuing your passion. But when you are in that passion state, that's when money just like kind of comes in, but that's not the thing that you're pursuing. It's the same thing with weight, right? It's not that you're pursuing weight loss. Oh, I need to be this or I need to be that. No, you're pursuing happiness. You're pursuing self-empowerment. You're pursuing self-love. You're in the pursuit of being in your own frame and being your embodied, self-empowered, magical being. And when you are embodying that, the weight release becomes a natural byproduct. So with that, let's talk about our stories. Chrissy, why don't you kick us off? Tell us and share about your wonderful story, and then I'll share about my story here.
Yeah, so so I'm a mom. I'm a single mother. My children are older now, so it makes it a little bit easier. I only have one left under 18. I'm also a nurse. I go out and see patients in their homes, which is also funny because a lot of the techniques we're probably going to share with you and just different mindset stuff is actually stuff I also do with patients. Just when I'm in their home, I feel called to do it because I love this stuff. But yeah, so I've had a couple cycles here. I used to be really little and I gained all of this weight and I don't even know how it happened. And then I lost it all again, like right at the beginning of the pandemic. And then a few years later, I found myself gaining it again. So it's been these cycles. And so I really had to dig down deep and figure out, like, where was this cycle coming from? I shared a little bit at the beginning, but really what it amounted to, I think there's a lot of things, but I had a lot of toxic relationships, a lot of self-worth issues, a lot of feeling unloved and all of these things. And I was afraid of being hurt more. So like every time I would stop like dating and I would stop getting in these relationships, it's like I would gain all of this weight back and I didn't understand what was going on. And finally I realized, because like I didn't want to be seen, like I was like, okay, I'm done being hurt, I'm done with this toxicity. So in order to protect myself, the weight would just start to hold on into my body. And that's exactly what it was for me. It was a protection mechanism. So, then the pandemic happens and everybody else talked about they were gaining all of this weight. And here I was losing it. I mean, like rapid pace losing it. Like within a year, 100, probably less than a year, like 100 pounds. It was crazy. And then I realized like it was, I didn't have to worry about being seen because we were shut down. The world was shut down. So there was nothing that I needed to protect myself from in that moment. So therefore the weight just fell off of my body. And then, when a lot of that ended again, like the weight started coming back. And so I hope this is making sense and I'm not talking in circles, but the point there is that it is just all about like protection for me. I think I've also, and I know Vicky, you'll share this with your story, I've also had some of the decluttering aspects. I've noticed that too. Like when I'll before, like I decluttered my house and I like went on this cleaning spree and I noticed like changes in my body when that happened, because again, it is all energy and everything is energy. And when you have negative energy in your body or you have negative energy like around your house, you have all this clutter, the energy can't go anywhere. it's just going to build up inside of you. So those have been my experiences. And let me just say, like when I lost weight before, and even now as I'm starting to lose weight again, I used to go to the gym. I did go to the gym like at times, but like if I'm not going to the gym right now, you know what I mean? Like I will move my body. I dance. I like to dance around my house sometimes. So like I'll just get my underwear and t-shirt and I will just dance around my house and it's so freeing. But I don't go to the gym, and I also I don't watch what I eat. I don't overboard, but if I want a slice of pizza, I have a slice of pizza. I don't, limit myself to that. I'm not a big sweet eater, but if I wanted to eat a piece of chocolate, I would eat a piece of chocolate. I'm just not going to eat like two candy bars, So that's another little tidbit I just wanted to add in there. But that's kind of where I am with everything. And I just wanted to throw that out there that like again, this isn't about like working out at the gym 5 days a week, because I don't do that and the weight's starting to come off again. So Vicky, we will turn it over to you. Tell a little bit about, where you are, what your story is, what got you into this.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I love your story. And, I think that what's important to take away from this is that we're just ordinary people, right? Doing
Mm-hmm.
and figuring out new ways of, in different ways of living our lives. So my story, I'll try to keep it brief, but, like Chrissy said, I'm a mom, I'm a busy professional, we both have full-time jobs outside of this, we do this in service. We do this is our passion, right? This is why we do this. I am a coach. I do 1,000 different things, but most importantly is my journey has been one of self-worthiness and self-love, and I don't know if any of you can relate to this, but when before going on this transformation journey for the last 4 to 5 years, I used to be the type of person that you would look at me and you would think that I was the most confident person in the world, right? Because I knew how to come across and I knew how to be confident on the outside. But here's the thing. I lacked true and genuine confidence on the inside. And I had a really hard time being vulnerable and honest in the sense of who I truly was on the inside, which was this shy, scared little girl, right? Who was just like faking it until I make it in this world, right? And especially like I worked in finance, I worked in corporate. So I knew that I needed to project this image of being someone who's very confident. But I also knew on the inside that I wasn't that person. And so when I went on this journey, part of that journey was, how I appeared on the outside. I really sought validation from the outside, which is, looking perfect, weighing the perfect amount, exercising every single day. Like there were these rigid rules that I created for myself to look and live in a certain way. And so, because of that, I was always in this energy of control. I controlled how I looked. I controlled what I ate. I controlled everything in my life. So I was very, very much, in full control, of everything. And the interesting part of my transformation journey was learning to accept myself just as I was. So over the summer, and just to give you really quickly, because I was such a like ultra achiever, I ran half marathons. I, gave birth, and like 6 months later, I was back to my pre-pregnancy weight. Like I knew how to get myself into a particular box in my life, right? So prior to this past summer, I had been running half marathons and etc. But I really adopted this whole mantra of like really living life with intention, and the word 10 being in the word intention. So I really started to live my life of tens. And there became days when I just didn't want to run 7 or 8 miles. I just didn't want to do it. Like my body was like, I don't want to do it. And because I was learning to listen to myself and to listen to my higher or inner voice, I started to say, all right, well, what's going to happen if I don't run today? What's going to happen if I just listen to myself and I do the thing that I want to do, which is like actually be outside, go for fresh air, go on a hike, be with my dog, run around with my dog, and not go on this formal 8 mile run, right? And so I kind of started doing that. And then I was like, well, what would happen if I ate like a little piece of chocolate? And then we went, and I really just started living into and feeling into the life that I wanted to live. And then we went on this trip to Hawaii. And when we were in Hawaii, obviously there was like not a facility where I could go exercise. And what the hell? I'm in Hawaii. I don't want to spend 2 hours in the gym. I want to be outside. I want to sit in fresh air. I want to go on a walk. So who cares if it's not cardio? And naturally, the weight started building up. And so I was like, oh my God, my pants are getting tighter. And, like I no longer felt as comfortable and confident in my bathing suit. And there was the little tummy coming. And there was this. And do you know what, though? There was this moment I remember looking at myself in the mirror, and I could tell that the weight had come on a little bit. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what? You are still perfect. And I still love you unconditionally. And you're still beautiful in my eyes. And I remember looking at myself in the mirror and thinking that and saying those words out loud to myself. And that was a huge turning point. And the reason it was a huge turning point for me is because prior to this experience, I would have been like shaming myself. I would have been like, I can't believe you gained the weight once again. I can't believe I'm going to have to go through this pain of having to lose the weight. Weight is so difficult to lose. How am I going to lose all of these extra pounds? Yet, like there would have been so many stories and so much noise and negative noise that would have been coming up in my head about the way I looked, the way I felt about myself, self-deprecation, shame, guilt. Oh my God, I look gross in this outfit now, right? Like, how many of us suffer this way? And those are just stories that we tell ourselves. And so I knew I gained weight, but I decided not to self-loathe myself. So we come back and I weigh myself and I'm like, oh my God, I gained like 7 or 8 pounds. I was like, this is like literally going to be impossible for me to lose. So I kind of tried, but nothing was working. So then I remember just kind of being like, all right, well, then this is my new weight. Then this is how I live. This is what I weigh now. That's it. I'm just going to accept myself. And interestingly enough, then all of a sudden I started going on this craze of needing to declutter my life. So I started to declutter everything in my home. I ended up donating 75% of my clothing. I was donating furniture. I was cleansing. I was getting rid of the things, releasing the things that were no longer serving me, no longer felt natural, authentic, or good to me. And what happened was I would open up my closets and my closets looked really empty. And it was so liberating and freeing to me every time I would see an empty closet, every time I would see these empty drawers. There was something really wonderful about that spaciousness and emptiness that I saw in my physical environment. Then I remember a couple of weeks later being like, my God, everything is feeling like so loose again. And I was like, well, let me just step on the scale. I stepped on the scale. All the weight that I had been holding on to had completely released. I didn't try to diet. I didn't try to exercise. I didn't do anything. All I was doing was following my inner voice, my inner guidance, and I was releasing the things that no longer felt authentic or no longer felt real and natural to me. So I pause here because that was a really big aha moment in my life when I realized that there's just another way to getting to where you want to be. And there's an effortless way to do it.
Love that. That's beautiful.
So why does this matter, Chrissy?
Why does all of this matter? Everything that we've said, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not just, I know we've already said this, I know it might be repeating again a little bit, but this is not just about releasing the weight so you look good. This is not just about, us. It's perfect that it's, the beginning of the year, because how many times do we all say, like, if you went to the gym right now, that place would be so full with people and they're working out. If you go a month from now, it's going to be like at least half the people are going to be gone, right? We do this, we start these things, we want to do it, we go on these trends, whatever it may be. And sorry, my dog's barking, guys. And we don't stick by it. Nothing sticks, And so this right here, what we're teaching you and what we're helping you do is a mindset shift. That's why this matters. And you can use some of these tools, not just for releasing weight. This is also going to be helping you just learn to feel empowered, learn to love yourself. It will give you better relationships. It will give you better energy. It will give you peacefulness. There's just so many other things that this can be about. So that's why it matters. It's a mindset shift. It's a jump start to help you really transform your life so that these things that we're teaching you are going to stick. It's not like the New Year's resolution where you're just going to fall off here in a month. This is something that we hope, if you do the things that we're telling you and you start using some of these tools, that this could transform your life. And this could be the start of that. That's why it matters.
Mind shifts, it's a mindset shift and it's an energetic shift.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yes.
It's both. And it's a physical shift as well. So what are some of the ways that we're going to do it? We're going to teach you about mindfulness. I know we all talk about mindfulness and people are like, wait a minute, meditation? I can't meditate. I can't sit for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes and meditate in a place and be quiet and be still. No, we're going to teach you the true meaning of mindfulness, the true meaning of how you live with acceptance, with presence, with being here and now in the moment, and how that relates back to the way that you feel about yourself, the way that you perceive your circumstances, and how that relates to the things that you're holding on to that you don't need to hold on to. I was hoarding clothes that I didn't need, that I had no intention of wearing, and yet I kept hoarding onto it. Well, guess what? Our energetic bodies, they're doing the same thing. They're hoarding on to the fat or to the things in your body because we're hoarding and we're holding on to energies, patterns in our bodies. And through mindfulness, we're going to observe them and we're going to learn how to release them. We're going to look at where do you have those energetic blockages, which is basically to say, where are you holding on to stories, to energies, to patterns that aren't necessarily true, but yet we continue to hold on to them, right? Just like those old clothes that we no longer need in our lives. We're going to teach you the daily habits so that you can, for example, live in an attitude of gratitude, live in a state of elevated emotion, live in a state of elevated empowerment and joy, live in a state of freedom. We're going to teach you all of these tricks. We're also going to share with you some practical applications. So we're putting together 2 different guides. One daily guide is from someone like Chrissy. Now, Chrissy, why don't you talk about the way that you're thinking about the daily guide that you're putting together for folks? And then I'll share with you my approach to a daily guide.
So when she says daily guide, we're talking about like basically a routine, like routines that we do throughout the day, right? I mean, and some people don't like that word. I don't like that word, honestly, because I'm not very routine oriented. But so like for me, because I'm not routine oriented, for lack of better terms here, I'm not like super structured because of the way my work is and these different things. So for me, it's like I do have morning routines that I'm extremely strict about because it sets my tone for my entire day. So I will be sharing some of that with you. But then throughout the day, like I'm not super strict. Like I don't have specific times where I'm going to eat lunch at this time. I'm a busy nurse, so I don't have that normal schedule. I also used to work night shift as a nurse, so I also have some of that experience. So I know that it's harder to stay on these like routines and these schedules when you have a job like that. So that's kind of where I am and what I'm going to be sharing with people, just different things that I can do throughout the day to keep my mind clear and to keep my energy flowing and, foods and all of that. But I just don't have that structured routine. I just have it for morning and then I have somewhat of one for bedtime. But so that's going to be where my lens that I'm coming from is for people who either don't do well with structure or have a job that doesn't allow them to have like a structured, maintainable routine.
And I
So
love
go
that,
ahead.
Christy. I
Yeah,
love
go ahead,
that.
Vicky.
No, I love that, Christy. I was saying because you bring in this like lens, right? Because I'm going to call myself, I'm a corporate girl, right? I am somebody who is in a routine, but because life is forcing me into one, right? I've got two kids. So like I got to get up in the morning, I got to get lunches ready, I got to get them to school. Like there are time blocks, right? Then I have meetings starting at 9. I'm in meetings, from 9 to 5, 9 to 6. Somewhere in there, I want to squeeze in a meditation. I would need to squeeze in a run or fresh air walk or something, right? I'm a busy working mom with a very typical 9 to 5 schedule, right? So I created, a suggestion for how you can run your day in a way that A, fits your schedule, your busy, hectic schedule, but B, also like gives you tools for how you can incorporate some of these habits, living habits, to start to transform the way that you truly live and the way that you show up in the world. Again, you show up in the world energetically, right? So we're definitely taking those two different approaches and perspectives as part of this challenge. Again, we're going to be running this for a very limited time. Make sure to go and to check out all the details behind the 7-day weight release challenge. The URL is below. We're making it extremely affordable for everybody because we really want to bring this to everyone, and we want to make this accessible to anyone who needs this at this time in their lives. So with that, again, what are we going to do? We're going to take a mind, body, soul approach, but I'm going to flip those words and I'm going to say a soul, right? The
Yes.
energetic is going
Yes.
to be the soul, body, and then mind approach. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Chrissy.
No, yes. I'm literally like jumping when you just said that. I'm like, yes. Why didn't we do that from the beginning? Yes, it needs to be. So anyway, go ahead, Vicky. I just had to like shout out to that.
I
True.
love that. Yes, absolutely. And not only that, but we're going to give you affirmations. So Chrissy is the queen of affirmations. Now, everyone, if you're into affirmations, you need to start following Chrissy. Chrissy has a free affirmation guide. She's like,
I love it. Affirmations have changed my life. Are you okay? Okay. And I started let me just speak on affirmations for 1 second, because when people talk about them, everyone in like the whole spiritual personal development world, people talk about them, right? So I start doing it. I'm like, okay, I give it like a week. Okay, this isn't working. Well, again, this is like going to the gym or anything else. Like it's going to take time. So I just kept doing it over and over. And then I started researching more, and I'm like, oh, the best time to do this is in the morning when your like brain is still in that theta state, all of these things. So I start doing this like every day throughout my day when I wake up in the morning. And let me tell you guys, how it is, what happens is these affirmations, these positive affirmations, are retraining your subconscious mind. So as you're doing this, like eventually your subconscious mind is just like, okay, we get it. It's time. We're going to listen now. And that's how affirmations work. I'm so excited to share some with you guys. Like she said, I have a whole free PDF list. If you go to my Facebook, Chrissy Lax, and that's CHRISSY, like there, LAX, and there right at the top, it's pinned. You can just click on the link and it'll, put your email in and it'll give you some free affirmations. Go
all
ahead,
right,
Vicky.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Chrissy. One of your favorite affirmations. What would be one that you'd give to somebody right now?
Right now for the 7, so I have a bunch. So the 7-day weight release challenge, though, that we're talking about here is my body. How do I say it? My body is beautiful and full of energy. Yeah.
I love that.
My body
I
is
love
beautiful
that.
and full of energy. Another one, I'm just going to give you guys another one right here, too.
Yeah, let's do it.
And that is, I no longer need this extra weight that is hanging on my body. Or you can say, I release this extra weight that is hanging on my body. Like any of those. There, I just gave you a couple freebies, guys.
I love it. I'm going to throw in one more just because I want to really give people value.
Okay, awesome.
So one of the things that I say is I'm a healthy vibrant bio state of a 28-year-old. And that's just it. Like in
Yeah.
my mind, energetically, I'm 28. That's just like, I feel like 28 is that phase in my life where I was like mature, but still youthful and still
Yeah.
young, but yet like, right? So I'm healthy, vibrant bio state of a 28-year-old. And
I
I
love it.
literally believe this.
I love that. And I'll tell you something else I really want to give you guys too. And I don't know, I think I've mentioned it to Vicky, but not a lot, is EFT tapping is something else that has really changed my life. That is emotional freedom technique tapping. And tapping is what it is. And it's basically like acupuncture, but you don't have needles and you tap on these meridian points. It's a whole thing. We'll explain more in the actual challenge, but it honestly can just really help you get to the blocks that are holding you back.
I love
And
that. I love
relieve
that.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only that, but we're also going to share with you some of the ways in which you can start to have a practice of forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness is key and core to your ability to release the thing that no longer serves you.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
those are the energies that we hold on to, whether we can't forgive ourselves or we can't forgive others in our life. And
Mm-hmm.
it is those energies that we're hoarding and holding on to that
Mm-hmm.
that we hold on to, because of which we can't release the things that we need to let go of. And so forgiveness is going to be a core element of what we're going to
Yeah.
teach you. There is a mantra that I say around forgiveness, and it is so incredibly powerful. And I will teach you the technique on how to do that. It worked for me, but I got to tell you, when I started saying the mantra, about when I envisioned for myself or some other people that I couldn't forgive in my life, I would cry and cry and cry. And do you know why we cry? We cry because we've been holding on to this energy, and because
Mm-hmm.
we now need to release it and we need to let it go. And it is through those tears that we energetically start to release and let go of the things that we no longer need. So I will teach you this mantra. I will teach you the techniques for letting go and releasing and forgiving. And remember, we don't forgive because we condone and because we're saying that something is okay. No, we forgive because we need to let go of the things that we're holding on inside. Okay, so I hope that you have gotten a lot of really valuable content from here. And again, this is going to be discounted heavily. We're offering this for $37 to everybody. The value that we bring between the different affirmations, the techniques, and everything is tremendous. Is tremendous. I mean, one coaching session with me is $250, and we're giving you like way more than 1 hour's worth
Mm-hmm.
of content here.
Yeah.
And a session with Chrissy is also hundreds of dollars. So you're getting close to like $1,000 of coaching from between me and Chrissy just in this one challenge. But we want to give you value, right? Like, so Chrissy and I, we both believe, genuinely believe that like when we over deliver, when we give you as much value as we possibly can, we have done good, because we're in it to really help shift and change lives. That's why we do this, right? This is a passion. Like we said, we both have full-time jobs, but we do this because this is something that is so core and deep to who we are. Chrissy, final thoughts, words.
You said it all beautifully just there. We are here to serve. I say, I like to say in one of my prayers, I even say is I'm a vessel to serve. I mean, just use me, whatever higher power anybody believes in, it doesn't matter. There's just something out there. Use me as a vessel to serve and to help other people. That's what I do. I've been doing it for a while with the nursing aspect, but now I'm just ready to take it to the next level and help people on a different level, not just physical. I want to help them with their mind, their soul, and just everything. Transform your life. That's what we both want to do. I love you guys so much.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure to sign up. This is going to be something that we're only going to do for a limited time. We're again making this super affordable, $37. You have us in your inbox for 7 days, coaching you every single day and teaching you the techniques, teaching you and giving you the tools to really transform you. It's not just about the weight, it's about all of you. All right, guys, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining. Bye.
Bye.